This is the hard truth. Money females, they want to be lesbians. One judge gave a chick a chance to get some D. She killed someone with DUI and she got 5 years. And this heifer did it again. And then the judge say, you ain't getting no D until you get 90 years old.
She has now committed 2 acts of DUI and taken 2 people's lives while doing it.
So the judge sentenced Carvajal to about 67 years in prison. She would be in her 90s by the time she's eligible to get out.
A 90-year-old chick taking that D? It ain't gonna be good. So let's watch a few news clips and we'll come back and chop it up. Always embrace your second chance.
DUI crash that killed her cousin will spend 67 years in prison. A judge handed down Jennifer Carvajal's sentence this morning. Now, this is the second time she'll go to prison for a deadly DUI accident.
Yeah, Fox 13's Aaron Mesmer was in court today to hear what she and her family had to say about this punishment.
Prosecutors portrayed Jennifer Carvajal as a danger to the community who cared more about staying out of prison than about the people in her car. In April 2021, an FHP trooper's dashboard camera recorded a car going at least 110 miles an hour. Earlier this year, Jennifer Carvajal admitted she was behind that wheel and was drunk when the vehicle swerved off I-4 and crashed into a car dealership. The accident killed Carvajal's 22-year-old cousin, Pedro Carvajal. Jennifer will now spend more than 60 years in prison.
The constant void that will always be there because of selfish acts that Jennifer decided to do. It is something that we live with and live through every single day.
In February, Carvajal pleaded guilty to DUI manslaughter. Pedro's aunt testified during Carvajal's sentencing Friday that the accident left their family devastated.
We live through it with our family gatherings. We live through it through holidays. We live through it through birthdays and anniversaries. Where Pedro is now empty.
2 other passengers were seriously hurt. One of them was Lexia Gonzalez, who testified Carvajal asked her to say she was driving so Carvajal could stay out of trouble.
What did she say?
Tell them you were driving.
This was the second time Carvajal killed someone while driving drunk. She spent 5 years in prison following a deadly DUI accident in 2014 when she was 16 years old. Carvajal told the packed courtroom Friday that she regrets her mistakes.
How can I be worthy enough to beg my family for forgiveness?
She asked for a lenient sentence. She said her decisions followed a traumatic childhood that included years of abuse she never addressed. And Carvajal says she wishes she could have traded places with her cousin.
I want you to know I will continue to live for him. I can't replace him and I can't undo anything, but one thing I know for sure, he will never be forgotten.
That promise wasn't enough for the judge, who agreed with prosecutors that Carvajal has proven twice that she's a danger to the community.
She has now committed 2 acts of DUI and taken 2 people's lives while doing it.
So the judge sentenced Carvajal to about 67 years in prison. She would be in her 90s by the time she's eligible to get out. In Tampa, Aaron Mesmer, Fox 13 News.
Listen here, you woman haters out there, you bet not dare say a chick that get out at 90 that did 67 years in prison because she's a dumbass who did not embrace her second chance to not drive drunk. You woman haters bet not say she is for the streets. But you 2 dumb motherfuckers, why the hell would you get in a car with a chick that already killed someone with DUI before? Are you stupid, though? You said watch Boys in the Hood. He said, let me out. Ricky ain't my family. He ain't gonna share his NIL money with me. Let my black ass out. But you 2 people, you should never got in the car with her dumb ass.
2 other passengers were seriously hurt. One of them was Lexia Gonzalez, who testified Carvajal asked her to say she was driving so Carvajal could stay out of trouble.
What did she say?
Tell them you were driving.
And her dumb ass had a nerve to ask you to take the charge. Take the charge. Ain't know you had took the charge? Her dumbass got drunk again and killed a 3rd person. The cycle goes on and on. I'm so glad that judge and the prosecutors decided to beat her ass. No dick for you until you're 90-something. It's gonna be rough. You're gonna be very, very dry. It's gonna be rough for you. Here is the go-to excuses. You're a gold digger. You ain't making it a gold digger. So this is your excuse. He forced me. You do something crazy at a school What's the go-to excuse? My mental health, my mental health. You killed 2 people with DUI. What's the go-to excuse? I've been touched. I gotta tell you something. I gotta be honest. In a female prison, where none of the chicks are getting D, unless they get it from a male correction officer, you gonna be touched a whole lot more than if you were free. Stay away from alcohol.
How can I be worthy enough to beg my family for forgiveness?
She asked for a lenient sentence. She said her decisions followed a traumatic childhood that included years of abuse she never addressed.
You see what happened when you name all the whole Jennifer? They become lying bitch. That broad was not abused for shit. Stop naming all the girl Jennifer, or they'll turn out like her ass. She ain't getting D for 67 years.
Pedro's aunt testified during Carvajal's sentencing Friday that the accident left their family devastated.
We lived through it with our family gatherings. We lived through it through holidays. We lived through it through birthdays and anniversaries. Where Pedro is now empty.
And we begin this hour with an active and tragic scene unfolding in Lauderhill.
It is a big scene. Also, police have confirmed a deadly crash involving a motorcyclist along West Sunrise Boulevard. That's where we find local 10's Hannah Yeshivi. Hannah, this is a popular part of town. What are we learning so far?
Ladies, this is such a tragic accident. As you mentioned, Lauderhill police officers are still here. Sunrise Boulevard here in Lauderhill is closed as detectives continue to investigate. Family members right here behind me crying and grieving after 2 young men in their 20s were out on a joyride early this morning, each on their own motorcycles, when an accident happened. We're still hoping to learn more details about how exactly that accident happened, where one of them died, the other one survived. I want to start by showing you some video of where we are. As Michaela was saying, this is a very popular place here in Lauderhill, just outside of Fort Lauderdale on Sunrise Boulevard. If you're familiar with the swap shop here, we are right outside of it. Now, in this video, you can see a red motorcycle that one of the 20-year-olds was riding. It's fully destroyed on the ground, and there's also a gray car that I can tell is crashed on its side. Lauderhill police is confirming an adult man died right here after that crash. And as I said, family here from the surviving young man telling me the person who died was in his 20s. He was a friend of that surviving young man, and that they were both out here early riding their own motorcycles when this tragic accident happened. Back out here live, we're all hoping to learn how this accident happened. As I said, family behind me grieving the loss of one young man after this very tragic accident. We will stay here and continue to bring you the very latest. We're live in Lauderhill. Hannah Yeshivi, Local 10 News.
Pedro, that survived. You got a second chance. I bet not see Pedro that survived racing any more motorcycle ever again. You better be catching the public bus from now on. We lost one Pedro. I don't want to lose. Pedro that survived. Embrace your second chance. It could easily be you. You could have been the Pedro that died. And the Pedro that died could have been the Pedro that survived. So folks, like the video.